And welcome back, everybody, to the Coca-Cola Summer Showdown Tournament. We have now just found the best teams in either region, so far at least. For the West, only one of their delegates remains, the Dallas Fuel, with an absolute barn burner of a victory over the Atlanta Reign, have made it to this match. This is the Gauntlet of Death. I can't think of a more difficult endeavor to depart on, because now the Dallas Fuel have a rematch against the Chengdu Hunters that sent them to this very lower bracket, Matthew.
Right, and the Hunters clearly have the blueprint on what to do against the Dallas Fuel. The Dallas Fuel, we have seen some new things from them, though, right? With the Winston, the Pharah in the mix. Do they come out and play something like that? How does Chengdu react? I think that's kind of the unknown going back into the rematch.
We heard Danny, speaking to Sparkle at the end of that match, right? Couple really key points, I think. First of all, it's that Dallas maybe feel like they can play the wrecking ball. It's that they think that Fearless is in a much stronger position on the Winston. And we know that Chengdu as well will have some maps where they prefer not to play the ball. They actually do go for the Winston and try and make that work. Also, now this might just be bravado, but Dallas, at least Sparkle claimed that they are now more awake. They are ready to play. But you have to imagine after a series that feels like it went for at least 2 hours, that's got to take some kind of toll, man.
Yes, it definitely probably does. I think, though, playing against the team that they've lost to adds to the motivation of getting back in there, trying to get that victory again, and then also trying to see Shanghai in the finals for back-to-back. I think that's huge motivation here for the Dallas Fuel.
And I mean, last time we saw, the Dallas Fuel and the Shanghai Dragons go head-to-head in a final, it was the June Joust, a meta which was very different, right? These compositions weren't possible back then. Brigitte Zenyatta was banned, I want to say. Zen was banned, but also Tracer and Sombra were both banned. Exactly. So those are picks that we are seeing teams like Shanghai, teams like Chengdu play quite effectively here. And they are showing us that, okay, maybe they were weakened a little bit with the changes there in the June Joust. But the Chengdu Hunters, Matt, they're ready. They've been waiting in the wings for the opportunity to have this matchup. They're stinging, I'm sure, after a very close loss to the Dragons yesterday, and they want that rematch in the final.
You said that was yesterday.
Oh, God. It wasn't even earlier on today. Well, I mean, it was almost yesterday, Matt. I'm only an hour off, in fairness. Time is one continuum.
I'm fairly close. It's about the same. They take Shanghai. They make it a very close game. They aren't able to come out on top in the end, but I still think it kind of shows you like the peak of this team and where they can go. Leave and Jinmu, a fantastic damage dealer combo. I think Gaga provides a lot, and just being able to play all of the tanks. And then Monk, in terms of supports, look fantastic. So excited to see how Chengdu goes about this rematch.
And of course, I think Lee was highlighted as an individual on this Chengdu roster, even in a very difficult match against the Dragons, right? He was constantly pitted up against Flanner. Now he's going to be constantly, we imagine, pitted up against Sparkle. Some cases, of course, Jimmy will have to deal with that, but Lee has been consistently one of the strongest DPS players in the entire league, and he's going to have to go above and beyond here in a huge series. The Dallas Fuel just came out of the ring. They're looking a bit
Who's playing for them?
Yeah, well, I mean, we know exactly who the Fuel will be fielding here. And Dallas have had to show us a new look, Matt. This, we get to see a little bit of fielder going back to Ana with the Winston there. We've seen the Pharah from Sparkle. We knew that this was one of his comfort picks. He said in his interview, he said, I think I can, if I get to play these comfort heroes, carry the game. The Doomfist, the Pharah, we even got a taste of his Genji, man.
It's just we haven't seen it really much of yet, I guess, like when the Pharahs match up against each other. Do we see them try and play it here? I know Sparkle just absolutely, like he mentioned, he was dominating those maps against Atlanta, playing the Pharah. Do you have a quick talk of saying, hey, let's play with that? Put Sparkle on the Doom, the Genji, the Pharah, let Fearless just play Winston and just send it. See what happens, right? I think that's kind of what Custom was alluding to. I don't know. I would say, like, yeah, Sparkle can make an impact on that. I'd have to imagine, though, like, the flexibility of Leave and Jinmu, like, they can just play so many different things that they would be able to figure it out. It's just, can they figure it out in time to win the series.
Lijiang Tao is going to be our first map in this series. And both of these teams, I want so badly a chance to go up against the Shanghai Dragons. And Shanghai, of course, threatened to be the first team ever to win 2 stage finals back-to-back. Somehow, it's not a feat that any team has been able to produce so far, which speaks volumes to the competitiveness of this league. And this year is more competitive than ever. What do we get for the Dallas Fuel here? I mean, these hoppers are interesting, but yeah. And what I love about Chengdu, Matt, is that I think both Leave and Jinmu play a ton of Sombra. Both of them are in the top 4 of IBM Watson's power rankings, right? I'm pretty sure Doha is like 3rd. You know what I mean? So we have a lot of excellent Sombra plays here. Liv has to be number 1, I assume, but Chengdu can really mix and match here. There's so much crossover between Leave and Jinmu's pools. And we're out of the gates here, Matt. Maybe no surprise here to see the Zenyatta and Brick set up with the Wrecking Ball.
So Sombra Genji for the Dallas Fuel, with a Moira in the mix. And then you have the ball with the Zen Break for Chengdu. The Sombra for Dallas, very good at trying to get a hack on like the ball, right? Cause a lot of problems. Can they do that to Gaga? And can they do it with Doha safe enough? You know, if you remember back to the last series with Atlanta, Doha was dropping early in a lot of these fights. So Gaga will get in with a big pile driver trying to contest.
And so he does. Dallas hasn't taken the point quite yet, and Gaga just absconds after he's taken enough damage, but there's a coalescence here. The Fuel are playing with a completely different backline. It's going to be the Moira and the Lucio. Fielder builds that coal quickly, as we might expect, and he uses it now to send the Fuel careening on a collision course with the Hunters, who now have a Transcendence in play. It's going to be the EMP that comes out just a little after the fact, and Jinmu's taken down with an EMP of his own, but it's going to be the Hunters that come out on top as the fighting gets moved into the middle of the map.
Yes, the minefield comes down from Gaga. It's able to get 1. A big pile driver here towards the end. Even with the bomb plus EMP, it's not enough for the Dallas Fuel. Chengdu will be able to take it back. Sound barrier available for Dallas, so you can just rally for the Hunters. But you also have this EMP from Jinmu. You know, a big EMP may have to actually hold on to the sound barrier and not use it offensively.
Coming into week 14, Leave averages 11 final blows per 10 minutes on the Tracer. That is the highest in the league. This guy, not a lot of self-preservation about him. Really quite the aggressor here. Fearless is able to get rid of Jinmu at the start of the fight. Again, he dies with EMP. No chance to make that happen as Fearless is dominating. Monk goes off the edge, and Fearless is somehow still alive. Sparkle holds the Dragon Blade in reserve now. No need to get the silverware messy, as the Dallas have a convincing lead in this. Oh my! You can't be serious. Gaga gets harpooned off the edge. Could have been even more than that. Yeah, he gets going to fall to a minefield. This is insane. He's absolutely balling out of control. And Sparkle, lucky to be alive there. He's going to get cleaned up by Monk on the backside. The only saving grace for Dallas, Matt, is that they managed to flip the fight, flip the point during that engagement.
Well, I mean, that's just an insane play there from Gaga. As Doha seems to be focusing a lot of his hacks onto Lijiang. That's what I've been actually seeing from the overhead minimap. EMP Blade available for the Dallas. Well, what a play from Gaga. So much talk in the offseason about his wrecking ball play coming in. He's been fantastic.
If that's against like a rush comp, that's 3 kills easily. I think it's like a Lucio and a Genji, so they can definitely save themselves from falling. You see the Dallas Field, they see Gaga, they actually go after him here.
They tried to get a manual hack on him, yeah.
Lijiang now under pressure. They're going to go for him. Sparkle with the play, but it's going to be a Transcendence in play to EMP now. Means Sparkle just impotently looks on as Yveltal belts him with the flail. Monk now, look how safe he is, sitting behind a phalanx of teammates, and now the Hunters go to 85 on the ticker.
And that was just good play from Gaga and Lijiang. I know what Dallas is trying to do is just get a hack on one of these tanks and just run them down. And both tanks just playing very smart here for Chengdu early on.
Oh, he's going to have to go for the EMP anyway. It only catches 2, but Lever's unable to blink. Driest eyes in the east, I guess. And Lijiang also hacked. He's not able to eat any of this damage up right now. Fearless able to play finally on the point. It's going to be a minefield from Gaga, but he's out of here.
Yeah, Gaga was playing off the point and tried to like roll in with a pile driver after the EMP. Pile drive with the minefield just didn't work out towards the end. So Leave with the pulse bomb here.
Oh!
Doha, that was actually, it looked like they had a Discord on Doha, and Jinmu went to challenge it. So, we know Jinmu hasn't seen a fight that he doesn't like. He'll challenge anybody.
Take him all.
He'll take a fight any day. That time though, it ends up hurting him.
I mean, Leave as well. He has such good damage stats, but he's like 7th in deaths. So very like middling in that stat. He just wants to go forward. This whole team, the Hunters, it's reckless abandon is the name of the game. Leaf has to recall a little prematurely here. The Coalescence is going to be used inside this small area fielder. The timing perfect. He's able to fade away just as Coalescence finishes. We're at that half a second earlier. He would not have escaped. He would have died during Cole, but Sparkle's gone down either way. Jexa has a sound barrier, but he's waiting for the call, waiting for the chance to use this. It's 99%. He's going to move to the point, but how can he keep his team alive with Beat if he's being chased like this? He has to return to his team, but Fearless is dead. He goes down before the sound barrier could come in. Jex is taken down by the self-destruct. There's a transcendence on the point now for Dallas Fuel. The dominoes don't quite line up the way they would like to get bowled over now. Oh, and the blade comes out, but Sparkle may be shut down here. Lei Young's going to be removed by the aggressive Moira of Fielder, but it's all Hunters players on the point here, and they all start with a 1-round lead.
And we're on with Leave and Gaga for one of the more important, probably the most important sequence at the end there. Fearless is primal raging, and he's going after Monk. And Yveltal, and he's got Sparkle with him, and Yveltal pops Rally, and able to keep both of those players off of Monk to keep him alive long enough. Just a tremendous play. I believe I had some help there from Lei Young as well. Being able to keep the Zen up. The Zen is such a crucial part of this team with the amount of damage he's able to put down.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Here we go, control center. And of course the Hunters will stay on the Wrecking Ball composition for this map. Not many teams with a goal to do this. There's Chengdu we are talking about here. Discord orb early on Hanbin, but I mean the Dallas Field just want to go forward here. Very aggressive start, and Gaga's hacked, he's down. Sparkle.
Sparkle's
Ooh!
dead, yeah.
Nice by Jinmu. He's able to get that big hack on the Genji. Sparkle has to try and walk away. Eventually he's going to get chased down. I mean, again, you are trying to beat Chengdu at their own game, and there's a reason they're the best at it.
Well, we also, like, this season, we really haven't seen much of Fielder, like, on Zen. Like, can Dallas even, like, replicate this? Not in terms of the tank line, right? We know Fearless can play ball. Can they replicate in terms of support at this kind of level? At the same level as Chengdu?
I think. We'll get onto that in a sec, because Transcendence is here. Gaga just pile drives on in. He does get hacked here, but the damage is well and truly already done. Yeah, I actually sort of tweeted it wanting to see Fielder rather, on the Zen, but I'm told that Repel is actually the sort of go-to Zen player for this team. We've seen Repel in a bit, of course, as he rotated in the main melee a little bit. But I don't necessarily know if that is a big part of Fielder's wheelhouse, which may be a weakness, a vulnerability here in this meta.
Yeah, because you know, the Zen break seems to be a crucial part of this. Is that's a pulse bomb from Lei Young, tossed on the floor. The rally comes in. That'll be Coalescence. This is going to be a blade. It's got to be big.
Shield Bash came in immediately, but it's not enough to stop Sparkle. Gaga goes down. Yveltal, though, with rally won't be stopped. It's an EMP there again. Catches 3. Monk crucially affected by that. Yveltal, yep, he also falls. Hanbin chased him down. Fearless is going to get topped back up here. Dallas finally get on the board.
Without like a nano for the blade. Like the rally was enough there, and obviously with some stuns and, you know, a knockback to keep Monk alive through the blade. I mean, that's like one of the biggest things to try and do there. So Dallas will retake the point. Sound barrier available for them. Chengdu doesn't really have much of anything like in terms of like big offensive ultimate here, but with the Discord and the disruption and the hack, you almost don't need any of these big ultimates. Lose Monk at the beginning, though, that probably stops anything.
I mean, Fearless can't do much with Primal Rage in this matchup. That Discord Orb is very scary for him. Dallas are happy with the point control now, and you see Fearless isn't standing out there in the open. He's trying to make sure that Monk can't line him up. But Jinmu's looking at the Winston here. You can see that Chengdu really want to get rid of that main tank first. Great EMP, but it doesn't catch on to Jexa, so not quite enough at this level. Jinmu eventually gets taken down now, and it's a Transcendence that comes out. I mean, it's built quickly, but only 4 players to benefit from it, including Monk, who's immune for the duration. And it's going to be a call here from Fielder, Matt.
It doesn't use it. They don't exactly need it this second. He's discorded. Not a ton of pressure. This is an EMP. They get the rally off right before.
Again, they managed to isolate Monk. That's something the Hunters have been very good at doing, is protecting him, but this time the Fuel get their way in early. Coalescence allows them to go forward. It looks like they too like to live dangerously. A hack on Fielder means there's no fade away. He wouldn't have had it on time anyway. Blade for Sparkle, chasing. Look at his reckless aggression. He does what he can and then hides around the corner as the Fielder at 92% here. This one is going to get close, Matt.
You just get back so fast in these fights if you're the Hunters that you have Leave touch the point. You're going to get close to a minefield here and a self-destruct.
Hanmin's low.
If you
desuited there, Matt. Oh, Leave just with a 1 clip. It's filthy. Pulse Bomb dropped, though. It doesn't quite connect, but no way Sparker was getting away from that. He actually tried to deflect, but there's damage coming in from every single direction. Fearless is down, and that's the Discord Orb really getting the job done. The Fuel, they know they're close, so they bide their time. The Hunters are back in the driver's seat.
Yeah, you play around this EMP if you're Dallas. You know, one fight to win. EMP, Sound Barrier, a great opportunity to be able to flip the point. Eviltope has been really good of getting the rally out before. So, you know, he gets the rally out before, and let's say, you know, Jinmu's gets some more, you know, farm. You're going to have a counter EMP here.
Doha able to get out there. EMP deployed on Monk again, makes him that much more vulnerable. The rally wasn't even able to use to protect him. Yep. Comes in a little later.
They
EMP
lose
on
the
Jexa. Jexa has beat. He's hacked. He can't use it. The Hunters now, with the rally expiring, they're going to go straight into a Transcendence. This is a perfect situation for Chengdu. Jexa getting picked off there that's devastating. And now Doha has to try and stall out. The next Fuel player up may well be Hanmin. If he can touch, he does just barely. And he's going to be kept alive. Fearless on the Wrecking Ball now. Let's see if he gets to the point in time. Jexa gets to deploy that beat, but God, they wish they could have had it for the previous fight. He looks much less imposing here. Doha's gone down. Fearless is on the scene now with the pile driver, but Monk is well protected as always, and he picks Fielder off across the map. Now Dallas are missing most of their healing at Hanbin. He pulls up short in front of Monk, gets desuited immediately. This Zenyatta is unkillable. He's also nasty like a warrior. And it will be the Chengdu Hunters. They take Lijiang Tower.
And Dallas trying to play the Chengdu kind of style without the ball and without the Zen and the Brig, it just does not look as effective. And Jexa has had a rough day, man. I know a few in the Atlanta series where he wasn't able to get the beats down right there towards the end. That is a massive one that he gets taken out before he's able to use it. So Chengdu, you would have thought maybe they would have struggled after that long break. They come in and get this first map win.
Absolutely. The unkillable Zenyatta really punishes the Dallas Fuel. There's much more to come in this series, and you best hope the Fuel have plenty left in the tank to burn, because this could be a long one if they have their way.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Coca-Cola, the official refreshment of the Overwatch League, and by IBM, the official cloud and AI partner of the Overwatch League.
Well, I'm sure the Fuel were ready for a little bit of rough and tumble here, but I don't know if they expected it to be quite so turbulent in map number 1. It is a Chengdu victory on Lijiang Tower, and it's messy, it's scrappy fighting, but that's where Chengdu thrive. We don't even, I mean, when we see it from them, we don't even call it scrappy, we call it according to plan. The second map in this series has already been selected. Dallas have opted to go to the Temple of Anubis here.
I like it. It's a move we saw in the Shanghai series. And Shanghai was spawn camping Chengdu on. I mean, you can't really play the ball here. Anubis is a pretty terrible ball map. So what do you do if you're Chengdu? I think they probably come out and run the Winston, kind of like what we saw in the Shanghai matchup. They had to have expected this, though. I mean, maybe they think that Dallas is just going to run back Volskaya and think they could just do it better. But I think after seeing Shanghai's success, they definitely should have expected this, as we'll see what they decide to run.
Yeah, so it feels like less of a comfort map pick for Dallas and more one that they're hoping can unsettle the Chengdu Hunters here as our assault map is revealed. And Dallas, I mean, look, it was I mean, the series started off very close between Dallas and Chengdu in their previous head-to-head. It started to unravel after this second map here. So Dallas would really like to stabilize here early in the series, otherwise they could get put away and put to bed awful quick.
So we'll see what Dallas decides to do on defense. I looked up a little bit of it. We were talking during the break. We haven't seen Fielder play any Zen this season, and then very limited amount of Jexay on the break. They've been able to get by, you know, just because of their aggression has been so good. And as I say that, look at this. We'll see Jexay on the break here to kick things off. Fielder play the Ana. But it's something that I think it's a product of seeing Dallas so much, I think. Is you see them so much, we see the metas kind of change and be different between all these different regions, and then you slowly see teams have success with this, notice they can't do that, they can't do this. I think it's just a little bit of a product of seeing them so much. But it's something that they're gonna have to kind of whether it's address or kind of come up with some interesting things for the rest of the season. You know, you never know in the Overwatch League. You know, a balance patch happens, like what's going to become that meta. Last year it ended up being Roadhog main tank with Zarya, right? It's just a hit or miss scenario. This will be Tracer with the Echo on defense, as Chengdu has opted for Sombra Echo on offense, and then they're going to play this double bubble again.
As good as Doha,
I mean, straight away.
As good as Doha's looked on Echo, Leave is just, I mean, this guy takes it to another level. That's 3 kills already for this DPS Dynamo, Matt. It's already over, this first fight.
It's pretty convenient. Like, Sparkle is obviously like that pop-off player, and Doha is so good and consistent on so many different things. But when you have two players like Leave and Jinmu, who at any time can just do something that, you know, probably only a handful of players in the league can do on the other side and like win a fight, it's game-changing for your team. And some of the teams that have those players only have one. You know, to have a team that has 2 players like that, it's pretty crazy. As Doha gets hacked.
Oh, that is disastrous for the Dallas Fuel.
You can Nano Gaga here.
Okay, here comes the Nano Winston. Late Young, I think, actually gets the Nano boost here. He's charged.
Yeah.
Oh, he's burdened through Fearless. Like hot knife through butter, and yeah, Hanbi knows he'd suffer the same fate if he stuck around to find out. Well, he kind of does, in a way. He gets demeched into his own spawn. This is a level of dominance that you really don't get to see every day, not amongst top teams. Doha's forced to try and duplicate a Winston for a little bit of extra durability, and Hanbin's trying to bring up the rear here, but Leave has done the same thing on the other side. He'll get a bit more aggressive with it, though. He's going to build a Primal quite comfortably and have that for the next 7 or so seconds. Graviton Surge comes out here from Lei Young. He lets that one go. He's still charged up in this fight, I'm damn sure. And somehow, Yveltal's able to get away from that. Fearless tries to pressure the Brig down, and Leave comes to the rescue. This guy is something else, Matt!
Chengdu just looks so clean. They dominate Dallas. I mean, Dallas was not there on defense. He talked about Jexay dying a few times with beat throughout the Atlanta series, and then he gets picked off really early here. And then as we go to point B, it's a nice hack from Jinmu onto Doha. We talk so much, and we were talking so much. The fact that, like, Yveltal is able to keep Monk alive so much, playing the Brig, whether it be, like, the Brig Ana or the Brig Zen, and then also play a really strong Mercy, like, Fearless has been trying so hard with these Primal Rages to, get into the back line, cause chaos, cause disruption. Nothing. It's just been this support duo that has played fantastic.
I mean, you can only play for your lives for so long. Dallas are coming up against a refreshed Chengdu, and who've had time to chill, and they're playing a different style. You have to deal with a completely different opponent in this second matchup. Look at Lee. This guy is. I can't.
It looks like maybe I thought for a second there maybe Jinmu got a hack on him and then he gets knocked down. But still, I mean, look how casual he just takes all these players out. Also, to say with Chengdu, Late Young, they were playing Elsa a lot of the season, right? And Elsa retires, so like Late Young's just kind of working his way into this roster.
Yeah, and look, we've seen him, both on the Diva and on the Xayah. People say, like, he's really been able to move into this role. It's tough to fill the gap, I think, that was left by Elsa, but he's doing a great job. Fearless down already. Not a great start.
This seems like a team, though, Mitch, that's like just hitting their stride with the Hunters, right? As Doha able to take a lead there, is probably got a little bit too aggressive, but
there's a
res to get him right back up with a res, yeah. Oh, you're gonna lose Gaga for it, though. Oh!
Chengdu maybe. Okay.
It's a Salip actually hit on the lead there. Oh, he's able to make it out.
He's able to extricate himself, and Late Young farms in for a bit of cheeky bubble charge. Okay, Fearless has to go in here. I mean, eventually Gaga's going to return, but if they can get at least one of the tanks out, Chengdu constantly playing with one tank right now, and Yveltal can't escape that kind of scrutiny from Fearless.
Yeah, but it's a three-player. It's a three-player Biotic Grenade on the other side as Gaga's back in the action. Jinmu here with an EMP. I don't know if you have enough players alive here to. I mean, Leave and Jinmu may try. I mean, Leave with a duplicate. No. I was gonna say it'd be the most Jinmu thing ever to just come up the rear with an EMP, but you have the Mercy back in play. Okay, for a second there, I thought they were gonna really start to invest into this, but
I mean,
this is a fight. Chengdu's got to give this up. They got to give this up. No, they're gonna give it up.
If Doha doesn't find 2 quick kills there, Matt, there is a chance for sure. And the Hunters knew that. They were positioned to stagger on and try and retake. So Dallas keep it close, keep it competitive here. To have any chance of a similar time bank, they have to win on this very next fight. It's not outside the realm of possibility. But both teams have some big ultimates online, and it's Jinmu's EMP that poses to be the most threatening. Look at this defense. Gaga is so deep right now.
Well, look at how far that Gaga, I mean, we can't see it here. Gaga has pushed Jexay all the way back to spawn. Jexay is in the Dallas Fuel spawn point, like literally in the room. He's not going to even make it back into this fight, maybe. It may not matter, though.
Doha built a duplicated grab up here, Matt. Monk is also missing.
Go back to the point?
At some point, he'll contest it here. He's back in Primal Rage now. He gets Jexa. Leave is brought down by Doha, though, who's had a fantastic round here on Echo. Gaga just needs to stay alive for the time being. Monkey's here to top him back up, though, and the numbers are coming back in. Here is the Graviton Surge from Late Young, and Hardman has no chance of getting away from this one. Surely not after the Biotic Grenade hits. Late Young gets the Mega Health Pack here, and Sparkle, stymied, has to recall.
These are just the moments that Chengdu needs to eliminate to be a Shanghai, like to be a team that beats Shanghai that can
elaborate on that a bit more for me.
No, they have this like Gaga does a fantastic job pushing Jexay all the way out by pretty much where you see them right now, and then splits it off. So like Fielder's stuck at the choke, Jexay all the way back there. He's playing the Brig. You may not make it back. Instead of like working back to his team when they're on the point, like opts to like continuously like primal him back, and does it for like a very, very long time until they give up 2 ticks and like he's the only one alive to go back. No, once he knocks him back to basically the choke and separates him and gets him so split, he's done his job. He can go back and help the rest of the team.
Fearless gets nanoed here, but is hacked. He's able to build Primal, but now he's slept. Nothing going right, and he can't even use the Primal. He's hacked again in his sleep, and then he's burnt down. Lead, of course, feeling right at home here on the duplicated Tracer. He'll push as far as he has to, and Doha gets brought down by Jin Muhammad. Is not getting his mech back.
This is you know what's funny? If you took the names away and you know, kind of you know, to change the colors a little bit, right?
Sure.
This is Chengdu is doing to Dallas what Shanghai did to Chengdu. Yeah, they're just, you know, rotating these ultimates, spawn camping them, pretty much. You know, lap them on the offense, spawn camp them on the defense.
It's unreal that these 6 players in blue could be put in this position by anyone, let alone the Hunters. Here's a Graviton Surge, and they are starting to style on them a little bit. Matt, I'm going to be honest, Lei Young is down!
Oh, no.
Nothing could be more Chengdu than what we just saw.
They were playing with fire. I mentioned that. Like, Gaga was playing all the way out there. Nobody was going back. He wouldn't go back to the point to help them. Look. You're going to get burned one time. You know, you play like that. And I didn't think we'd see it in the game that I was talking about it, but there we go. 2 minutes on the clock for the Dallas Fuel.
I've seen a lot of things. As an Overwatch caster, I'm sure you have too, 5-6 years of this. The celestial anomaly that is Chengdu will probably never be something that will be repeated. Just a completely ridiculous collection of individuals here. The only thing that comes close to matching their skill is their unpredictability. This is, look how far, they're just too deep. Chengdu know what's happening. But Fearless makes it impossible.
Yeah, no, I mean, Doha.
Sorry, that's Doha as Winston, excuse me. Yeah, I mean, that ain't happening. Wow.
No, right as I was saying, they got to eliminate some of those mistakes like Gaga was having to catch up teams like Shanghai. They have a mistake like that. All right. Well, Chengdu, positive, still had a really good offense. The defense was very good. They just decided to give up. So we'll see Dallas on offense. 2 minutes. Dallas will actually go to a double bubble with the Zarya here as well. Hanbin off of the Diva.
Both teams maybe value the ability to catch a Winston inside a Graviton. The
I still can't believe that.
Okay! Sparkle down to a bio. Leave getting a little aggressive here. Bubble, yeah, burnt through pretty quickly. Focusing Beam does its job.
Is it odd to say, you know, the worst thing I think for Dallas, like looking at this game so far for Dallas, is like, it's not like, let's say that they're getting out comped or something like that. Like, I think it's like just that like Chengdu just looks more coordinated in this fast style, which I think is something that Dallas kind of like built themselves up on.
Yeah.
But Chengdu's look really good.
Yeah,
outside of giving up the point, but we'll forgive them for that.
They played a bunch of double bubble here, Matt. Like this comp to Dallas, they played a bunch before in previous metas. You'd think had mastered it, but Chengdu are really starting to cause some problems here. Fearless gets a moment alone with Monk, is put to sleep immediately and just disintegrates under the scrutiny of a charged up Lei Young. Fearless just eyes roll back in his head. He can't believe it.
They play, Chengdu plays so on the edge. And I mean, you see Lei Young.
I'm limit testing. I'm limit testing.
For it. Yeah, I mean, now they got. How many teams do that? They lose their Zarya on deep into the choke, and then they just EMP Nano and then go in. I mean,
Gaga is using every single one of those.
I mean,
yep. Oh, okay. Matt, he's using every single one of those 500 hit points too. He's stretching him as far as they can go. 7 seconds left here. Chengdu lacking Gaga.
Well,
no chance
you're going to be able to fight this. You can duplicate, and then you're going to have a grab coming back.
Primal gets it in time. Bionade doesn't quite come when it had to. Sparkle going to go down. Leak notice that Sparkle was
hacked. We got the real Winston back too. Gaga's back.
Yeah, double trouble monkey magic here for the Chengdu Hunters. Doha gets a duplicated grab. It's really nice. It's really nice. Hanbin's going to be there as well, but Lee's going to be able to get the kill over time. Oh, he can't touch! What am I watching?
I saw that happen on the map. So Lei Young and Leave get these like basic 2 insta-kills coming out of that grab. And like, nobody on Dallas expected it to happen. Like, they're fighting another thing over by the stairs, and as soon as those people die, they have like this like, uh-oh moment, and everybody starts to beeline towards the point. Nobody close enough. Oh, man. Oh, this has been a wild one. All right. 4 minutes and 30 seconds for Chengdu. Honestly, I don't want to jinx it. The most Chengdu thing here would be if we get a tie, if we get a draw here. I mean, that would just be everything.
Matt, let's be clear. There are definitely external factors that contribute, that you could theorize contribute to the way this match is going, but this is not close. This map, not remotely close. Dallas's pick, and it has been awful for them. Chengdu, they're cut above.
Could be over.
Oh, I mean, I think we
probably
expect that. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, the way Chengdu was playing on defense, I mean, if they just didn't let them back out at this point, like we'd be in map 3 now. But here we are, Dallas given some life here. Can they do anything with it? The best they can do, obviously, is a draw, but that would still be largely beneficial.
Decent pressure on Lei Young. Biotic Grenade comes after the fact that, well, the fuel had already disengaged. This is ult percent for Yveltal and Monk, respectively. Build up that Zarya charge, I'm sure. Oh, dear, Doha. Oh, his wings are clipped, and his goose is cooked. That's just ridiculous. Leaves in a great position here to punish now. You see that out of position was Fearless, and Jaxa not faring any better. Oh, yeah, this one extremely over. About as over gets. The Hunters now will move to the point here. It's just Harmon on the high ground who will get hacked, forced to drop down, desuited. And it's about as simple as that now. Doha will try and touch here, but one tick, remember, is all that the Hunters need, and the Fuel are going one at a time. Just a different team, a different level is what the Hunters are bringing right now, and the Fuel are getting swept aside.
The Hunters are just built different. The Pandas showing up trying to win this thing is, they were so close to beating Shanghai. They've come in here, and this is a rematch, right? And this looks more dominant than the first go-around. Is Chengdu really putting their mark on this series, really putting their mark on the league, making everybody take notice about how good this team can be.
Last chance saloon for the Dallas Fuel. They've got to dig deep and find whatever's left, because they are on the precipice of losing this series awful quick. The Hunters are hungry, they're angry, and they're here to play.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile. And by Xfinity, the preferred internet provider of the Overwatch League.
We got a whole new season on our hands, a whole new tournament.
Expect the unexpected. It never happens as it should.
It's something in the contenders' water, but this shows you how close in skill a lot of these teams are. It's absolutely insane. The pole slam dunk on the Surmajet, he's gone. Dynasty, what a way to secure the bag.
Shockwave's turn it around?
Wow.
Where did Shockwave find those 2 kills to take out the supports of Hurricane?
Speedly popping up. Why is this the Speedly show every time we see this pick from Speedly? The Echo and then getting enabled by OG. It's actually insane. But his shield is broken. He does the jump around the corner with the shatter, and they couldn't even use Transcendence. Here comes Eyes with a Deadeye finds 2 again. Constantly finding these picks.
This is hit scan pop off territory. Iced is in his element.
Jakaru comes rolling through to find a third as he takes out both the supports. One more for him, that's 4K! But Jakaru against the British Hurricane.
But look at how British Hurricane's gonna try to win those fights. Just like that! Poco going a little loco here, finding 5.
Coco just caught health completely off guard.
Cloudy charges into Adam.
The LKO out of nowhere.
Johnny on the third time as well!
Johnny is a Lucio to be reckoned with. Twirls more energy. They're grabbing the high ground so they can't touch.
Twos. What a huge brain on this lad.
Someone needs to clip the wings of this Pharah.
People could say that they saw this coming. There's no shot you saw it happening the way that it did.
That was just history we watched right there.
Just like the summer, the competition is heating up. The ancient deity Harrow Eris has landed just in time to celebrate the Summer Showdown Tournament. This is last chance for this one, ladies and gentlemen. Get this one before July 19th, so you have a few days for 200 League tokens. Definitely the best Ana skin so far. Maybe one of the best in the game. I'm a big fan of it. Even a little birdie on the edge of the end of the gun.
It's the bird god, like I learned the last time we.
Yeah, it's the bird god, all right. Hey, I mean, here's our Somber power rankings. I kind of alluded to this with IBM Watson, but you have, I mean, Lip, Jinmu, Doha, Leave, all in that top 5 here. And I think like we kind of talked about, it's insane that, I mean, Chengdu have 3rd and 5th lockdown. Both of their DPS players can deliver these like top level Sombra performances.
But but that's, I think, speaks to more Jinmu and Leave as players outside of just the Sombra ranking. Like,
Sure.
these two are so interchangeable, and they play everything at the highest level. I think the only thing you would really say is that, like, Jinmu doesn't play, like, the hit scan stuff at, like, you know, when you're talking about, like, your
Sure.
Widowmaker or kind of McCree. Like, that's really, like, Leave. Kings Row up next. Dallas Fuel squeaked this one out against Atlanta, but it was not easy against Atlanta. You know, it's not. This is another map though, like Anubis, where it's tough to run the Wrecking Ball. But I think what's scary if you're Dallas Fuel is that we saw them play the Winston, and barring them just kind of like, you know, going AFK for a second, giving up a back cab, it was really just all Hunters, offense and defense, and it was Winston.
I just can't. I can't believe this Hunter squad has been able to go up a gear after losing Elsa. You know what I mean? Leiyang comes into this lineup and and provides a heck of a lot to this team. They really don't seem phased.
I think they also just, you know, we talked about it a little bit on Pod Chat, and I think we kind of, you know, some of us had like different opinions, but like thought that APAC was ahead of the meta this go around. And I think that's right on the kind of button. And I think something that, you know, you kind of look at the league last year and the league this year, and, you know, where it's vastly different, and I think more this year, right, is that with these regions split, you really do have these strong metas develop in with each region. And when, you know, they mash up, it's just kind of a, you know, it's hit or miss, right? Where Dallas can definitely take maps off of Chengdu, you know, playing different things, right? And what the meta is in an AS worked against some of the stuff that Chengdu puts out, but, you know, Chengdu a majority of the time is playing something that has like a little bit more advantageous aspects to it.
What is it?
To where in the past, you know, we've had a lot of teams just kind of playing each other all the time, right? You think back to the Bala days where, you know,
I mean, you
was
can't
just one
practice
meta,
against
right?
this. How do you in the West practice against the Chengdu Hunters style? Who is going to give you the best exemplar of that in that region?
No, nobody. But then
Paris,
you kind of look
probably.
back, but maybe, yeah. But then you looked back to, you know, what is it, like the May Melee, like who was playing like the Dallas Fuel, right? Remember when they just kind of came out and, you know, they were doing things that other teams just couldn't do. It's going to be Dallas getting aggressive. You know, playing the Genji again. So Genji Sombra from Dallas on defense. Good first fight. They give him a tick. So Chengdu it doesn't leave with nothing here. The one thing here that they can do, Dallas, you know, it's going to be hard for Chengdu to get the Zen and the Brig through the choke. Obviously, with Zen Brig, there's no Lucio. So no speed to be able to make it through. You're going to have to probably rely on like a pick or, you know, Gaga just getting tons of damage and forcing them back a little bit.
Leaves managed to wrap around behind them now, so Dallas slowly being encircled, and Jinmu's going to go down. Hum is able to find that kill. He and Fearless combine and dive. Monk's going to be able to find Doha in the same fashion. That's right. So Sombra's down, and Chengdu's is going to be closer to the fight.
This is actually really good for Chengdu. They're going to get a minefield out of this, and now your supports have made it through the choke. You know, Gaga is so difficult to take out. He minefields, and now you're going to be walking into a Zen on the other side. Big biotic grenade, though, that comes out from Fielder.
Almost 3 ticks here. Fearless is so deep, there's no one there to help him. Not even throw him a life raft. And it's going to be the Hunters here. Get point A pretty comfortably, and this is it. How do you prepare for what Chengdu are bringing? Dallas trying to play Genji Sombra defense here with the Winston dive, and man, it's been tough for them. But this is getting
like
easier, Matt.
So the you do create, so Dallas creates like 2 like almost certain win conditions with the EMP and the Nano Blade. They just have not been successful diving this backline.
Oh, look at the health bar
really
just
been
disintegrate. Okay, Fearless bubbles. Gonna be able to stay alive there. The amount of damage he takes is just ungodly. But Jinmu's gonna fall to the self-destruct here, and Gaga slept. So Dallas have a lot to deal with that Wrecking Ball, but he's not getting away. You know Fearless isn't escaping. Sparkle has to be careful. He cannot block Leiyang.
No, yeah, you're gonna make it out, the rest of the members of Chengdu. But without Fearless, you're gonna be able to go again with Chengdu. Look how fast Gaga's back in these fights.
Wrecking Ball covers those distances real quick. And Jinmu's just waiting for the opportunity to let this EMP loose. And it could really punish Sparkle if he's mid-blade and he gets hit with an EMP. Doha goes first, catches Jinmu with it as well. Gaga just kept alive by the Transcendence, but Jinmu not as lucky. And here comes the Blade after the Transcendence. Can Sparkle get close enough? No, he's domed. He runs into a monk of the Shaolin variety, apparently. And now it's going to be a sound barrier for the Dallas Fuel, but they've lost 2 already. They're committing, they're going for it. It's a 4v4 right now. Harbin wants to try and pressure Late Young down, but he's charged up. Harbin not bothered. He gets that kill, and now an EMP comes late in the fight. Chengdu with 3 players still want to try and commit to this. It seems insane, but it's Chengdu's wheelhouse right here. Lee gets caught by Harbin now, and Gaga is in position. Hack on Harbin, but he's kept healed.
Alive.
They go for it, Matt.
There was, yeah, but I mean, you could have came back and EMP'd. They have no ultimates. You just EMP and rolled the card in. What the hell? Okay, so they invest the EMP there. They get a hack on a Hanbin. They're gonna get a DMAC here.
Oh, Late Young's out of position and has no charge. He just gets burnt out.
He's EMP'd. He can't. No, he's hacked. He can't get the grab off. Why is it? Where's Monk? What is he doing over here? Dude, by the way, before the EMP and you know, that from Jinmu, you know, when Monk shuts down Sparkle, did you see the position he started to take? Instead of like backing up, you know, like yeah, we've seen Sensei, he jumps on top of the payload and he's trying to like shoot down at people underneath the cart. It's just madness. Like it doesn't. Chengdu is just so aggressive that sometimes it's just like mind-boggling. It's got to put pressure on the opponents though, because like what is happening here?
It's all or nothing, man. No other way about it. Fearless is able to capitalize on a Monk that has his shield stripped from him. Late Young is not going to escape either, so nice setup there for Doha. Dallas trying to stabilize. These moments of reprieve are so few and far between against a team like Chengdu. Dallas have to make the most of it.
This should be most certainly a fight win for Chengdu coming up, though. EMP, Pulse Bomb, I mean, everything. They're going to have everything. It almost certainly should be a fight win for Chengdu. Barring some type of, you know, Doha manual hack, maybe, I know, a big self-destruct, Chengdu should be able to get this.
Lever's Pulse ready. Doha spotted out. Here's the EMP. Fearless stunned by Evil Tal before that. It's going to be a rally in play now. And yet, like you said it, Chengdu definitely had the abilities to bring into this fight. There's nothing left but stall here for Dallas. Notwithstanding something huge, Harbin doesn't even go for the self-destruct. He can't. It looks like he was hacked in the mech before being desuited.
The best part for Chengdu is, you know, you came into that with there's 6 ults. You'll still leave with 3. You know, you'll leave with Pulse Bomb. Oh, beautiful stick there, as that's on the Jexet. So you have now Transcendence for the Blade that comes through, and then you also have Minefield. So some good ultimates here still online for Chengdu as the cart continues to roll.
And they're already essentially spawn camping, right? Playing so far forward with just one player on the cart. That's Veltal. Okay, here's Blade coming into the Transcendence. Sparkle stunned instantly. So how does he find value here? Oh, he's still able to get the Brigger, of course. The Nano Boost allows him to cut through that healing. Just the 1 kill is all Sparkle's going to get for his trouble, though. Minefield also going to be in the way here.
And that's defensive, so we'll see if anybody going to get caught on this on the way out, or if they're able to knock anybody anyway. You see Gaga just causing so many issues here.
I'm in self-destruct. Can he remech? Yes, he's able to get leave as well. That's some serious value. Clears out some of those vines that Gaga had left as well.
I don't think Leave had any blinks left and just kind of ended up like basically hugging Hanbin's mech. Which is not the right place, but 40 seconds. Not a ton of time here for the Hunter. So Dallas done a great job here on defense, stabilizing. I think he was really like Chengdu just taking wacky fights there in the second part of the map. Really just trying to force stuff that wasn't there. EMP versus EMP here.
Dallas Primals stunned, not EMP'd, but hit with the Discord Orb. Doha can't let his EMP go quite yet, but he may still have a chance. Leave has to recall, as he would have been sleeping in lava there. And Dallas hold that EMP for now. They don't feel like they need to use it. Doha sets a contingency plan in motion there with a translocator placement. And here we go. He lets it go. It only catches Lei Young. No, Monk's able to get the transcendence. He just zooms himself back towards the cart. Sound barrier now for the Dallas Fuel. It's going to be a blade from Sparkle. Can it make the difference? He got Jinmu already, and now he gets Yveltal. That's what they're looking for, the Fuel. Gaga's minefield, though. He's going to catch two. This is looking dangerous for Fearless right now. Harmer's going to try and stall out the cart, and the Wrecking Ball is still looking really healthy. Backing away is Lei Young, trying to get back to safety, but Harmer chases him down. Gaga's
got a rally
hit with a
coming
Bionic
back.
Grenade. There's going to be reinforcements here for the Hunters. They can touch. Rally in play now, and a self-destruct comes over here from Dallas. Harmer can't find a kill with it. Jinmu's going to back up. He's on the Tracer now. Lee switches over towards the McCree, and Harmer really just trying to get rid of the Wrecking Ball, but it's a Sparkle Doomfist that's a difference maker here, and Dallas put a stop to Chengdu shenanigans.
All right, so they get a little bit more payload progress there, Chengdu. I also love the last fight Torbjorn swap from Jinmu.
Initiating.
So they tried to go Torb McCree, so clearly having some type of issue kind of protecting that backline. Really, the ball doesn't make any sense with Torb McCree, Ball, Zen, Brig. It just kind of seems odd, but really I think just trying to help the backline there. But Sparkle with a blade, I believe he had Nano during it as well. Even with Monk's Transcendence was not enough. So Dallas finally get a hold. It's not easy. I do wonder what... Okay, so Chengdu comes out on defense. Ball Zarya with the Sombra Tracer. I was wondering if they were going to have any fear of Sparkle playing the Pharah here
Incoming in 30 seconds.
on offense. I thought that would kind of be something that maybe Chengdu considered coming out here on D. Like, do they
Right.
play
Without
Pharah?
Diva, they can't really contest that, right? I guess you can...
Well, so the only thing that I think you can really kind of consider is, could they have played something a little bit more defensive in terms of, like, do you play a McCree Torb here because you were clearly having trouble with the Genji? I think though you want the EMP factors. Do you play McCree Sombra? That doesn't really kind of synergize well with Wrecking Ball. So it'll just be Sparkle playing the Genji instead of the Tracer. Definitely more of his comfort zone. Although we've been seeing him play the Tracer throughout this season, you would definitely say Genji is the better of the heroes.
Make no mistake, this is Dallas playing heroes that are really familiar to them, heroes that they're comfortable on. Fielded with a Discord Orb on him is very low. Can't nade himself by the looks of things. Looks like Doha just got revealed there in the Alderworth Hotel by accident, I think. Run into by Yveltal. And there goes Fearless into the back line now. Lei Young bubbles himself, and it's going to be a hack on Fearless. They might try and follow this up, the Hunters. They're going to give almost a tick, but Monk finds the pick on Jexa, and the pile drive is going to knock both tanks out of sequence, but Sparkle gets rid of the Zen, and he gets a Yveltal. A backline disintegrates under the scrutiny of the Genji here, Matt. Sparkle is living large.
Right, but that's, I think, what you're seeing the difference now than at the beginning of the series, is that the Genji of Sparkle is making a big impact on going towards Monk and Yveltal in the backline. Maybe they thought that adding the Zarya in the mix was going to be enough in terms of, like, having the bubble there to support. Clearly not the case. As Monk starts to fight off well, as I mean, you can see it's the Fearless comes down with enough damage to help him finish players off with those dashes.
On the road of the Dallas Fuel here, looking revitalized in this third map. Would have been their last chance to get a map win, but immediately the Hunters take another fight. They want to burn some clock and maybe burn through some health pools. That EMP really helps with that particular endeavor. And that is a clean fight win as the Hunters re-establish, Matt.
Yeah, that's a big fight win. You do come back, though. Nano Blade, EMP if you wanted to here. So a lot of stuff for the Dallas Fuel to potentially use is that they do land a sleep on a Jinmu. Yeah, they're able to take him out. So Jinmu actually gets slept up top. Don't know how that happens, as he's Sombra may have been revealed somehow and then gotten slept, but doesn't matter. Gaga with a minefield, he's killed instantly. So they'll continue to move the car past it.
Gaga able to deploy the minefield there, but I wonder what the idea is there for the Hunters, because nobody follows Gaga in there. The rest of the Hunters are well and truly backed away. I guess they discovered the sense of their own mortality.
Doesn't matter, he's already back.
Yep, that's what Ball does. Doha
We go
needs to get
again.
Monk with this. He gets Monk. Oh, man. I mean, they focus that Zenyatta. They know how deadly that Discord is, but they're still going to lose the D.Va mech here. This is far from over. Blade for Sparkle. He wants to end the job, and yeah, Yveltal couldn't do a damn thing about it. Harbin did fall, but that's the only really key kill for the Hunters here in the field now. Genji, Sombra, propelling them forward.
I think he'll be able to contest again here for Chengdu. Yveltal kept him alive with a rally for a decent amount, but you lose leave. It looked like he was, trying to make a play on a Fearless.
He got a pulse bomb and Fearless, man.
Yeah.
And that's why the Hunters can do this in the first place. Like, Leaf does die, yes, but they get, that huge amount of damage on Fearless. They burn him down. Now Gaga just waits for this and he'll take the Mega.
Yeah, no, it was a Biotic Grenade on both tanks, but still not enough as Dallas has to back out. So, EMP available here for Jinmu. You still have the Transcendence of Monk, so you're in a spot. I mean, this would be huge for Chengdu. If you're able to hold here for like another minute, it's a huge win in terms of trying to actually lock down this map, lock down this sweep.
It's all about the EMPs in this next fight. Can Jinmu let it rip, or can Doha actually shut Monk down before he has a chance to Transcendence? EMP comes first from Doha. Monk, though, can use Transcendence. He's able to dodge that, and it's a sound barrier instantly deployed for the Dallas field, and here comes the EMP from Jinmu. Now, the timing's pretty good. Lei Young is down, but he was already desuited. Doha's been removed, so no manual hacks in this fight, and that leaves Lee free to get into the back line and work his way on a fielder. Monk, okay, headshot on Genji. Reasonable.
And now when Dallas Fuel comes back and they have the Blade, you're going to have the rally here available for the Hunters. So Hunters doing a nice job rotating through these ultimates. Always having one at the key time. And Jinmu's EMPs have been really good. I'll say that real weird one in the streets. The timings of them have been really good. Been really impactful, especially, taking away some of these sound barriers.
Leave us another pulse. That's so fast. Oh, the pile driver. Leave gets in there with the... Oh, the bomb is brilliant. Yep. Harbin desuited. Fielder is just clinging to life. It's an easy pick-off for Jinmu. And that's this Tracer Sombra working in tandem now. Looks like a symphony. And the Dallas Fuel are... Well, they're trying to hold on. It's a minute 15 left. They look so good to start, but now that momentum starts to drizzle away.
Doha is behind. Monk knows now. I was fearful. I mean, the card has moved to a spot where you cannot backcap, but the things I've seen this series, I was worried.
60 seconds.
An EMP here for Monk is huge. Doha, I mean, sorry, Transcendence, excuse me. Doha's EMP is not going to be a factor in this fight.
Doha's going to have to get a hack onto Monk, like a manual hack on the Monk.
Nanoblade can still cut through that. So you can still get probably Yveltal, I think, with a Nano Blade. But it's spending a lot to kill just the Brigitte here in this. Maybe a Transcendence, minefield here for Gaga.
Monk almost kills Doha. He's getting no charge towards his EMP.
23 seconds left. That's it. Jinmu gets brought down again. So the field are doing well to control that, but here's a minefield into the pile driver. Dexter is lucky he's able to get a sound barrier before he gets blown up by the minefield, and Sparkle is biding his time for this Blade, waiting for the ideal opportunity to strike. Wait, what? That's not supposed to happen. I'm sure if Jackson gets the nano boost, fielder deploys it. I mean, okay. Fair enough. I mean, if we're results oriented, it was fantastic. But here's the Transcendence now for the Chengdu Hunters. Sparkle's gone down. No nano boost for him and no chance to use the Blade. Leave taken down by the self-destruct here, but Lei Young can stall for a time. Fearless is so deep. He's too deep and there's no one there to help him. Now the EMP comes out, and is this where it ends for Dallas? Is this where their hopes of a Summer Showdown finals berth come crashing down in overtime? Harbin is going to be hacked and hit with the Discord Orb and put in the Cone of Silence. Lei Young with the Defense Matrix to shut him down, and Sparkle now has to go for the Blade, but there's no nano boost. That's long gone. That ship has well and truly sailed. Sparkle's able to dodge away from the self-destruct, but can't get the D.Va before the remix, and Lei Young is back in the fight. Harbin falls to the minefield, and Sparkle, he has the touch, but he left the cards. And Dallas Fuel are going home without a chance to take this final away. It's the Chengdu Hunters that secure themselves a rematch for the Eastern region in the finals.
And it's a dominant win by Chengdu. I mean, this is a 3-0. And Now you look at Anubis, that's one that they could have won 2-0. So you're starting to look at the score lines of this series. I mean, they give up a back count, but you could add a 2-0 control, a 2-0 assault, and then a 2-1 here on King's Row. But
The Boostio.
man, the Boostio,
Oh,
the
Boostio.
and they were playing for that. They were building up that Nano for so long. That fight. Well, it's not really a fight. Like that whole sequence of events starts with like a minute, almost a minute on the clock, and we're down at like 30, 40 seconds, and the EMP, they nanoed the missile. Unfortunate scenes there, but I am excited for that Chengdu Shanghai match tomorrow, because that match was close between those two teams, the first go around, and with the adjustments that Chengdu made here against Dallas, who knows what happens in that Shanghai match? That is one that they are going to be so amped up. A battle of two Chinese teams for the Summer Showdown final.
I mean, it is going to be exactly what you want from a final, right? Two teams that will just be trying to push themselves to the limits. It's going to be such a skill-based matchup there. But it's time to talk about before we get too much further, our player of the match presented by Xfinity. A lot of incredible performances over the course of this series, but Yveltal is going to be our player of the match here, Matt. Obviously, a lot of the time, the break to Monk's Zen, but I mean, what an impactful player he has been.
And with the way that Dallas was trying to win this match, it was, by Fearless, Sparkle, the whole gang trying to put a lot of pressure on the supports when they wanted to play, whether it be the Ana Brig or the Brig Zen. And he was able to do a fantastic job, rallying at the right time, even dodging the EMPs to get the rally off in time. But then also to keep Monk alive, just kind of shadow Monk when he's playing the Zen. He's having the pop-off moments, but it wouldn't happen without Yveltal.
Absolutely. 30 defensive assists per 10 minutes. And, a really big uptime percentage on that Inspire, which really starts to push that healing even more. Really impressive performance, a lot of setup there, and a lot of what made it very hard for Dallas to play to one of their biggest strengths, which is Fearless, right? The back line was very, very difficult to take advantage of, and of course the Discord Orb plus Brig stun, it just makes it impossible. Dallas wanted to play, okay, we want to play Genji Sombra, we want to play Winston. I mean, this is what, Yveltal and Monk are tooled for. They're ready to sort of play that style, and I think one thing's for sure, Matt. Now we know for sure that the East are way ahead in terms of their understanding of this meta, the best way to play right now. The West, now they know, but they paid the ultimate price in an Overwatch esports terms to find that out. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, we're going to hear from Monk here on his victory here for the Chengdu Hunters and what it means to them for having a chance to actually take the Summer Showdown presented by Coca-Cola finals up against the Shanghai Dragons. Crazy stuff today, crazy games. We'll leave you with that, and we'll be back in a second with Monk.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
Welcome to the Watchpoint Post Show presented by IBM. Hi everyone, I'm Emily Tangerine, the overseas correspondent for the Chengdu Hunters. Now I'm so excited about this interview because this particular player has been bullied all day, first by the Dragons and then by the Fuel. We have with us Monk, 小和尚. Hi, 你好，恭喜你们拿下了本场的比赛。能不能离 microphone 近一点? First of all, congratulations on, this is the first time that the Hunters are advancing to the finals in the Summer Showdown. So obviously you guys are really excited, but when was that crucial moment where you guys realized that you guys were going to advance to the finals? 那首先呢，恭喜你们，这是成都猎人第一次进入了总决赛，所以Monk，我想问你的就是，你是在哪一秒、哪一个时刻，终于意识到你们队伍会进入到总决赛呢？当时是什么感受？
就第一张图打完吧，我觉得我们能赢。
你是说第一张地图打完你就觉得自己能赢吗？
对。
So Monk said， 不好意思，你说吧，你说。
就站点图打完，觉得大伙都挺厉害的，就能赢。
So Monk said that after the first map, he realized that they were going to win. Everybody was playing to their best abilities, and so they had the confidence to advance. Now you guys are going to be going up against the Shanghai Dragons again, and they gave you guys a really hard time earlier today. So what kind of adjustments do you think the Hunters have to make? And the follow-up question would be, who do you think on the Shanghai Dragons will give you guys the hardest time? So Monk, 你们明天呢会面对上海龙之队。那么今天这场比赛打得真的非常非常 close， 所以你觉得你们成都猎人需要做什么样的调整呢？
对各种情况的应变吧，我觉得我们今天输就是应变不太好。
那你觉得在上海龙之队当中，哪一个选手会最难应付呢？
弗莱塔吧，弗莱塔很秀。
So, Monk said that we're just going to have to make adjustments accordingly. And the reason that we dropped the match today was because we weren't able to make the right adjustments in time. And then my follow-up question was, who do you guys think on the Dragons will be the most challenging to deal with? And he said Fleta, because, Fleta is just really good. My final question is, this is the first time that we're chatting with Monk on the Western broadcast. So Monk, what would you like to say to your fans on the West who may never have chatted with you before? 好，Monk， 我不知道你有没有意识到，但是这是你第一次来到守望先锋，就是欧美的直播，所以这是很多粉丝第一次跟你聊天。那么你对这些支持你们的粉丝，可不可以说几句话呢？
谢谢大家的支持，我们会继续努力的。
好，谢谢 Monk. So Monk said that thank you so much for supporting us, and we will continue to work hard. All right, well, thank you so much, Monk. Thank you so much, Hunters, and thank you, Overwatch. All right, throwing it back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you so much, Emily, and thank you, Monk, as well. I mean, that guy's an absolute Chad. I mean, if we've learned anything today from the Chengdu Hunters matches, Monk is someone to fear. I thought Monks were supposed to be peaceful. That guy's just fragging out. Let's take a look at our Coca-Cola Summer Showdown bracket. After 3 very exciting matches today, 2 of them went the distance. but at the end of the day, it's going to be the Chengdu Hunters taking on the Shanghai Dragons in our Summer Showdown finals tomorrow. A rematch of the upper bracket finals as well that we saw earlier today. Wow. What an extensive day of just amazing play of Overwatch. We got plenty of recaps, so Costa and Danny here with me as always here on the Watchpoint Post Show presented by IBM. But let's just get started. If you remember, yesterday, literally yesterday, at least for me,
it was yesterday.
We had the first match of the day being played out between the Shanghai Dragons and the Chengdu Hunters. It was an incredible battle between the two teams here. Danny, in this match specifically, who stood out the most for you on the Shanghai Dragons who qualified for the finals here?
That's a hard question, because I think Shanghai Dragons, just everyone on that team, they really showed us why they're such a good team and they are the champion caliber team. And this is like their third time going into the finals. But I think I would say Izayaki, definitely. I mean, Costa mentioned it in the pre-show and he's been talking about it a lot. The way he played his Zenyatta, that aggressive playstyle and using that trance to sort of like a backup to like heal himself and the team as well. I think it's just really, it's crazy how he's so good at Zenyatta, and I'm just always amazed by how he plays that hero. And I mean, looking back at this match, this was sort of like a mirror, other than Latium playing more Zarya and Void on the D.Va. But it was, definitely Dragons. They had the better team synergy, and that is why, it was a really close match. But at the end of the day, it was Shanghai Dragons taking the win.
Yeah, and we're going to have plenty more time to talk about this match and, of course, the matchup tomorrow again in the finals between both of these teams. But recapping today's action, of course, after this match, following this, we had the Atlanta Reign taking on the Dallas Fuel as well. I don't blame production. We were just enjoying some fantastic McCree gameplay there on Gibraltar. But of course, following the first match of the day, we had the Atlanta Reign taking on the Dallas Fuel in the lower bracket as well for our first elimination match of the day. And this one was completely different from an initial upper bracket match. This one was way more about slowing it down, playing the Reinhardt compositions. We saw Atlanta favor the Oriza on King's Row, for example, and Dallas Fuel trying to make heroes like Doomfist work, like right here. We're seeing Sparkle pop off, Mei as well here on Hanamura. There was plenty of that, Reinhardt pins. All of the action you would expect from both of these NA teams, they brought it out in good old fashion. But at the end of the day, it was going to be the Dallas Fuel with the help of Sparkle's amazing Pharah gameplay. That was just too much poke for this Atlanta Reign team. That was what eventually pushed Dallas Fuel past the edge as we also went to Nepal for our final matchup. This King's Row, by the way, this was a map for the ages. I mean, it went to overtime. We went to point C twice, considering we were in overtime. Incredible matchup here, Costa, recapping Atlanta Reign versus Dallas Fuel. This one had it all, really.
Yeah, and it just went back and forth throughout the entirety of the series. At first, I was like, Atlanta Reign, they seem to have worked it out, and then Dallas feels like, hey, but we're gonna play Pharah, to like Atlanta Reign's like kryptonite is Pharah throughout the entire Summer Showdown. I'm sure that they're hoping going into the Countdown Cup they won't have to see any of this again, but just the flexibility and adaptability of just the entire Dallas Fuel team playing on their DPS with Doa and Sparkle just sort of really gave them that edge, and unfortunately Atlanta Reign does fall, but they had a great tournament nonetheless, and you can't really forget, as much as they go out first in the Summer Showdown playoffs, they still had a great tournament, and I'm really looking forward to seeing more of them because they seem to keep leveling up from tournament to tournament, and they're getting into the playoffs, and they've got to be a part of the conversation of, can this team take it all the way?
Absolutely. So Atlanta, they go out in 4th this weekend among 4 teams. Still something to be happy about, of course. But this match that led to where we're just watching the lower bracket final between the Chengdu Hunters and the Dallas Fuel, taking each other on in a rematch from our initial day here this weekend, of course, on Thursday. Chengdu Hunters in this one, though, they looked just too strong in this matchup, Costa.
Yeah, this is a classic, if it ain't broke, don't fix it from the Chengdu Hunters. They came in, played the exact same style they played in the first day, really sort of utilizing Gaga on that Wrecking Ball, Monk on that Zenyatta, while throwing in some sputterings of Pharah here and there. Dallas Fuel really leaning into that Winston Lucio style of just playing aggressively. We got to see some Sparkle, Genji. That seemed to have been their whatever they can, throw it at the wall, and unfortunately it didn't work. They almost got over the line on King's Road, but Chengdu Hunters just playing, not only is this a compositional difference as well, I think Chengdu is playing a really cool style, but even on this Temple of Anubis, as you see here, they were pretty much mirror compositions, and Chengdu's coordination and individual execution was just on an incredible level that I don't think we've ever seen from this team before. They took it to the Dallas Fuel playing Winston Anacoms, and that's something that isn't being stated enough for this Chengdu Hunters team. Yes, they can play the Pharaoh, yes, they can play the Wrecking Ball, but not only that, they have that flexibility, and that's what you love to see, and they're going to need it going up against the Shanghai Dragons tomorrow, because where they really fell short was they weren't having the right switches when they really needed to. They can go toe-to-toe with this teamwork and with this style, but when they needed to switch, they couldn't keep up with the Dragons. So hopefully something that they can fix, you know, in the 24-hour turnaround that they have to go up against the Dragons again. But it's going to be a banger of a match nonetheless. Last time they went to a 5-match series.
Absolutely. So we've talked extensively about Leave, of course, and his MVP candidacy after a very impressive Summer Showdown playoffs. Quickly, Danny, one player besides Leave who really impressed you in this match that the Shanghai Dragons have to watch out for tomorrow?
I mean, Leave, Monk. Not Leave, then Monk. I think it's about that. Like, Monk's in. I mean, we all saw how good it is, and like he constantly had that trans. Like every time, I don't know how he gets those transcendence that fast, but it's just constantly. He was just constantly on it. Like he had it ready for every team fight. So if it's not Leave, then I would have to say Monk.
Absolutely. It was incredibly impressive. So that leaves us with Chengdu Hunters and the Shanghai Dragons in tomorrow's finals. And according to my here, I gotta check my notes real quick. That makes the Chengdu Hunters the third most successful team this year behind the Shanghai Dragons and the Dallas Fuel. So very impressive stuff from the Chengdu Hunters. Not really something we talk about. Of course, we got 4th in the May Melee playoffs. They didn't qualify for the June Joust playoffs. That was New York Excelsior, of course. But now, with a 2nd placement here guaranteed in Summer Showdown and a 4th place in May Melee, you gotta be pretty happy as a Chengdu Hunters fan. Someone else who's happy, that's me. If we take a look at the predictions we had today, of course, I nailed all of them. I'm ecstatic about it. Someone who didn't have a great day, and I mean, she's not there to defend herself, so sorry, Zoe. It's not looking good. It's not looking good.
Wait.
Where did this lead us in the standings? Wait. Yep.
Am I the lowest now, or am I tied with Zoe? Please tell me that I'm tied with Zoe.
You're tied with Zoe, but you are the lowest.
Oh, damn.
Okay, as long as I'm not like lowest, I'm good. I could climb my way.
I'm second. I'm second.
Hey, one
Danny,
match.
Here's what I'll tell you. If you're not first, you're last, okay? So,
yeah, right? Okay, all right. Oh, okay. All right, Mr. Number 1. All right.
Okay, I've had enough of Costa gloating about this being number 1 in the prediction standings. It's gone on for way too long, production. I'm tired of it. We need to find a workaround. Anyway, we got more Watch recap right after this. Stay tuned for more of the Watchpoint post show presented to you by IBM.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
Welcome back to the Watchpoint post show presented to you by IBM. I am back here, reinforced your host with Costa, Danny. His first name is Scott. Don't forget that. He gets
you got it right.
His first name is Scott.
Progress of the day.
I've trained all day. It's been like 11 hours, 12 hours, but we got there. Let's present you with a speed boost presented to you by Xfinity. The Xfinity speed boost, of course, is one of our favorite segments here on the Watchpoint Post Show. And today it was all about the Chengdu Hunters bringing the pace here on Temple of Anubis, Costa, with a special achievement, statistical achievement behind it.
Yeah, this is actually a funny speed boost right here by Chengdu Hunters, unless you're a Dallas Fuel fan. So Chengdu Hunters just rushing through this Anubis, and this is when we all started getting really worried for Dallas, because it wasn't just that it was fast, because it didn't break records in speed. They did this in 12-0 final blows. The Chengdu Hunters got 12 final blows, and Dallas Fuel got a donut. They got 0 final blows, just having an incredibly clean run through it.
One might say that Dallas ran out of fuel.
Okay, cut the segment. Get rid of it. Oh, I'm out.
Can we move on?
I can't work under these conditions. I don't want to.
It was fast though, Danny. It was very fast, Danny. Right?
It was very fast. Yeah, very, very fast. 12-0.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very good.
I mean, you don't really see Dallas Fuel get rolled like that. So, very impressive, of course, from the Chengdu Hunters. You know, you can't really underestimate like how good of a pace that is against a mighty team like the Dallas Fuel. So credit to the Chengdu Hunters for that one. You love to see it. Things we also love to see. Oh my god, I'm getting good at this. Our best of the day, of course. Let's get it going. One hero that really stood out for me today was, of course, Sparkle playing the Pharah. I thought that was so entertaining. I love Pharah gameplay in the Overwatch League. I know there are a couple of teams around the league that don't like Pharah as much. They don't really like the hero. Well, consider me a fan, because when you get barrages like this is one of the most entertaining ultimates in the entire game. It's costly, you know, like it's dangerous. You're putting yourself on the line, you're freezing yourself in place, you deal tons of damage, especially if you get nano-boosted, which, you know, Sparkle didn't get here. He still gets a 4K though against the Atlanta Rain. Oh my god, just letting it rain. It's so amazing. Anyone backing me up here?
I see it. Sparkle makes it rain versus the rain.
Guys, come on.
They're making it
what
rain
are we doing
on
here?
the rain.
Come on. What are we doing here?
Very
but I agree though. As someone who loves the Pharah Mercy gameplay, it's usually a Q to respawn kind of hero, but the teams have been making it work, even like without the nano, as you said, Johnny. So, yeah, all the props to Sparkle. I'm sure we're going to see a lot of it tomorrow.
Absolutely.
True.
Danny, what do you got?
All right, my best of the day is it's from Chengdu actually, and it's Chengdu being nice to Dallas Fuel.
Oh,
you know, I wouldn't say it's a C9. You know, Chengdu just felt nice on Anubis, and they were like, you know what? I'll let you cap the point, Sparkle. You know, they were busy fighting the other members of Dallas Fuel, and Sparkle and Tracer is just on the point. And then they see him, they're staring down. They're like, you know what? Take it, because at the end of the day, they took the map.
Danny trying to be a C9 apologist over here. No, that's just a good old-fashioned Charlie Niner. I can't back you up on that one, Danny. That was bad.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
No,
else
I know. Hey, Costa, I know that was a C9, but I was, you know, trying to look at the other side. Maybe Chengdu thought that way. Who knows? We didn't talk to Chengdu. Maybe they were like, yeah, man, it's already lost. Just give it to them. All right.
Do you think they would have had a greater chance of touching the point, Costa, if they had Jimmy instead of Lead?
You're gonna throw that one at me right now. After the day we've had all through today, you're gonna throw that curveball at me.
I'm just saying, the Chengdu Hunters, they have a consistent problem of not being on the point, so maybe don't play the guy whose name is literally Leave. It seems very counterproductive. I'm just saying. Yeah, sub in Attend. I don't know. Someone. It's a player name contest. Pick him up. Let's go. That's all I'm saying. Costa, what's your best of the day?
Oh my god. Well, someone who also left and took everyone with him is Lip, and we're going all the way back to the start of the day on Ilios, and this is Lip legitimately sacrificing himself Iron Giant style of like, you stay, I go. He teleports into the abyss, drops the EMP on the Pharah Mercy, and actually doesn't even kill the Pharah, unfortunately, because neither of them can use their flying. But insult to injury, Jinmu actually does die after this, but this is selfless play. And Danny, you actually asked Lip about this in the post show, and he said it increased their statistical chance of winning this team fight.
Like,
That's a great teammate right there.
Yeah, he knew that, like, you know, by him dying and taking the Mercy and the fight, I think he wanted to take both down, but apparently it didn't happen. It was just a Mercy, but it was still a win for him.
Do you think that Jinmu knew that it was gonna happen, so he flew closer to the balcony?
Maybe. You could see Lip, like, at the edge looking over. He's like, guys, I'm gonna do it. And everyone's like, do it, bro. And he's like, I'm gonna do it. And they're like, do it. And he's like, I'm gonna do it. And then he did it. So maybe Jinmu saw it coming.
Oh my god, Jinmu would be so smart. Anyway, I love this play. This is an iconic play. I think we'll remember it for many years to come. And it will always be that go-to, like, you remember when Lip used the EMP and fell off the map, but still, like, did it in an upper bracket finals match, nonetheless. I mean, I love that, Costa. Thank you for pointing that out. Let's take one final look at our Coca-Cola Summer Showdown bracket before we close out the show and take a good long rest before an amazing finals tomorrow. It is going to be a rematch between the number 2 seed Chengdu Hunters and the number 1 seed the Shanghai Dragons. They went to 5 maps in the upper bracket final, so let's hear it. Costa, Danny, how many maps are we seeing tomorrow? Mind you, it's a best of 7 tomorrow.
I'm gonna go off the deep end and I'm gonna say 8. I think there's gonna be a draw. I think we're going the distance. Everyone strap yourselves in. If you thought today was long, tomorrow's gonna be longer. So I think it's gonna be a wild one.
I think it's either gonna be really long or really, really short.
No middle ground.
I can't say I don't know which way it's gonna go, but it's gonna be really long or really short. That's my answer.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. I will say, though, I thought Late Young's D.Va looked mightily impressive against the Dallas Fuels.
True.
Knowing that he played mostly Zarya in the upper bracket finals, maybe he swaps over to the D.Va. It's a different match. We'll have to see. I'm predicting a 4-2 for the Shanghai Dragons, I think. I just spoiled my pickings for tomorrow. Well, there you go. It's in my pickings. It's locked in.
Let me write that down real quick.
Yeah, okay, I'm delirious. If you haven't been able to tell, I mean, I think we're all running low on Steam back here and production as well. So we're gonna go ahead and close out the show. Thank you so much for watching the Watchpoint Post Show presented to you by IBM. We'll be back tomorrow for the Watchpoint pre-show as well, previewing the match, having all kinds of fun. You'll have emote control, your favorite segments. We're zooming out. We're ending the show, fellas. Woohoo!
See you tomorrow.
See you guys tomorrow.
No, not tomorrow. Finals. It's today. It's today.
Today for the finals. It's today.
Apagando las luces. Ahorita regreso. Apagando las luces.
Experience tranquility.
Justice reigns from above. Justice reigns from above. Quadruple kill. I am power. Apagando las luces. Apagando las luces. Writing personalities. Focus my target. Burn down.
Iris.
Apagando las luces.
Tranquility.
La la la.